The movie begins with an intense and mysterious scene. We see Jennifer, a woman stranded and in distress on a deserted island. However, the circumstances that led her there are unclear. The film then takes us back in time to unravel the series of events that brought her to this dire situation. We are introduced to four main characters, including Jennifer and her wealthy husband, Jack, who are preparing to embark on a luxurious trip to an island famous for its seafood. Accompanying them is the ship's captain, along with two crew members, Pepe and Manuel, a fisherman with extensive knowledge of the waters they are about to explore. Just before they set sail, there is a tense moment between Manuel and his girlfriend Maria. She arrives unexpectedly and reveals that she is pregnant, but Manuel coldly denies that he is the father. Maria, clearly hurt and angry, warns him that there will be consequences for his lies. The tension escalates when Manuel loses his temper and strikes Maria, right in front of everyone, causing a scene that leaves the other passengers uneasy. Despite this unsettling incident, the group boards the ship and begins their journey. As they sail towards the island, the dynamics between the characters start to shift. Jack, who is accustomed to a life of wealth and privilege, begins to clash with Manuel, whose rough edges and straightforward demeanor irritate him. This tension comes to a head during dinner, where Jack, feeling superior due to his wealth, treats Manuel with condescension. The friction between the two men is palpable, setting the stage for future conflicts. Meanwhile, back on the mainland, Maria is seen engaging in a mysterious ritual. She performs what appears to be a form of black magic in a dark, secluded space. This ritual, though not fully explained, seems to be connected to her anger towards Manuel and her desire for revenge. Manuel, however, remains unaware of Maria's actions and tries to relax on the ship by reading a book. Unfortunately, he is disturbed by the loud and passionate arguments coming from Jack and Jennifer's room, which is next to his. Frustrated, Manuel is on the verge of confronting them when he suddenly experiences a nosebleed, possibly a side effect of Maria's black magic. Ignoring this odd occurrence, he decides to sleep, hoping for a peaceful night. The next morning brings more conflict. Manuel and Jack have another heated argument, which escalates to the point where the captain intervenes. The captain sternly warns Manuel to treat the guests with respect or risk losing his job. Already on edge, Manuel snaps. In a fit of anger, he quits on the spot, throwing his knife onto the ground as a final gesture of defiance. In the commotion, a handkerchief falls onto the gas stove and catches fire. No one notices as the fire begins to spread slowly through the ship. As the fire engulfs the ship, panic ensues. The passengers and crew scramble to escape, hastily boarding lifeboats. They manage to get away from the burning vessel, but their ordeal is far from over. That night, a violent storm strikes, scattering the lifeboats and separating the survivors. Jennifer finds herself alone on a small, desolate island, bewildered and terrified by the sudden turn of events. As Jennifer sits by the shore, trying to make sense of what has happened, she sees the lifeless body of the captain floating in the water. Acting quickly, she drags his body ashore, but it is too late. He is already dead. Her sense of isolation deepens until she notices Manuel, who has also survived and made it to the island. The two form an uneasy alliance, knowing they must work together to survive. They construct a makeshift shelter from the debris washed ashore and manage to catch fish to sustain themselves. Despite the grim circumstances, a bond begins to form between Jennifer and Manuel. He teaches her how to swim and fish, helping her overcome her fear of the deeper waters surrounding the island. Their interactions are tinged with a sense of camaraderie and mutual reliance as they begin to depend on each other, not just for survival, but for emotional support as well. Their fragile sense of peace is shattered when Manuel discovers that Jack has also survived and washed ashore on the same island. Jennifer is overjoyed to be reunited with her husband, but it quickly becomes apparent that the dynamics between the three are strained. Jack, still recovering from the trauma of the shipwreck, is initially grateful to Manuel for helping Jennifer survive. However, his gratitude soon turns to suspicion as he notices the growing closeness between his wife and Manuel. Jennifer, grateful to Manuel for his help, speaks highly of him, which only fuels Jack's jealousy. The tension between Jack and Manuel escalates as Jack's insecurities come to the forefront. He becomes increasingly paranoid, convinced that there is more to Jennifer and Manuel's relationship than mere friendship. This jealousy is exacerbated when Manuel, who is skilled in survival, easily lights a fire using a lighter, a task that had eluded Jennifer and Manuel for days. The realization that Manuel possesses skills that Jack lacks only deepens Jack's sense of inadequacy and fuels his resentment. Jack's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. He begins to lash out at Manuel, hurling insults and accusations. One day, after a particularly heated exchange, Jack orders Manuel to leave their shelter and forbids him from speaking to Jennifer. Despite Jack's harsh treatment, Jennifer chooses to stay with her husband, although she privately doubts their ability to survive without Manuel's assistance. As the days pass, it becomes clear that Jack is struggling to adapt to the harsh realities of island life. He is unable to catch fish and grows weaker from hunger, surviving only on coconut water. Jennifer, who feels responsible for Jack's well-being, tries to help him fish, but their efforts are largely unsuccessful. Meanwhile, Manuel continues to thrive, catching enough fish to sustain himself comfortably. Seeing Jennifer's suffering, Manuel offers her some of his food, but she hesitates, knowing it would anger Jack. Eventually, hunger and desperation drive Jennifer to accept Manuel's offer, but she insists that he keep it a secret. During this exchange, the tension between Jennifer and Manuel reaches a new level as they share a brief but significant kiss. This act, while small, complicates their relationship further and adds to Jennifer's internal conflict. Unaware of Jennifer's actions, Jack prepares to eat the small, poisonous fish he has managed to catch. However, he becomes suspicious when he realizes that Jennifer has eaten something else and confronts her. Jennifer, trying to maintain peace, manages to calm Jack down, but the underlying tension remains unresolved. The next day, when they go fishing together again, their frustration mounts as they continue to come up empty-handed. The situation reaches a breaking point when Jack catches Manuel trying to steal their fire. Enraged, Jack retaliates by throwing mud on Manuel's fire, leading to a violent confrontation. The two men engage in a brutal fight, each driven by their own frustrations and fears. Jennifer once again finds herself in the role of peacemaker, trying to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. As the days wear on, Jack's desperation reaches new heights. Realizing that he must find a way to catch fish, he resorts to stealing Manuel's glasses, which he plans to use to dive deeper into the ocean. When Manuel discovers the theft, he is furious and confronts Jack with a makeshift spear, intending to exact revenge. Jennifer intervenes, and in the ensuing struggle, she and Manuel come dangerously close to crossing a line that could change everything. Fearing that Jack might discover what has happened, Jennifer tries to keep the peace, but Jack's suspicions continue to grow. Eventually, Jack confronts Jennifer, demanding to know what has transpired between her and Manuel. Pressured, Jennifer confesses, leading to a violent outburst from Jack. Enraged, he physically assaults Jennifer and throws her out of their shelter, leaving her vulnerable and alone. Manuel, who has witnessed the altercation, feels deep sympathy for Jennifer and takes her in, offering her comfort and support. As time passes, the survivors adapt to their harsh reality. Over the next 5 months, they manage to gather the supplies they need to survive. Jack, having learned some survival skills, creates a pair of makeshift glasses to help him catch fish. One day, while diving for fish, Jack discovers a small boat submerged in the water. Realizing that this could be their ticket off the island, he brings it to the surface. When Manuel sees the boat, he offers to help Jack repair it, knowing that it represents their only chance of escape. However, Jack, still harboring resentment, refuses Manuel's help and begins working on the boat in secret. Jennifer, sensing Jack's intentions, tries to convince him to let Manuel help, but Jack stubbornly declines. As Jack continues his work, Manuel and Jennifer plot to steal the boat and escape without him. Unbeknownst to them, Jack overhears their plan and prepares a trap. The next day, Manuel and Jennifer attempt to steal the boat and sail away. However, they quickly realize that the boat is damaged and begins to sink shortly after they set off. Jack had sabotaged the boat, hoping they would drown. Forced to swim back to the island, they return to face Jack, who is waiting for them with a spear. Jack attacks the exhausted Manuel and kidnaps Jennifer. That night, Manuel, despite his injuries, manages to rescue Jennifer, but he becomes gravely ill due to his wounds. The following morning, Jack finds Manuel and Jennifer hiding on a tree branch. In a final confrontation, Jack throws his spear at Manuel, who falls to the ground. Jennifer, desperate to save Manuel, intervenes and stops Jack from delivering a fatal blow. However, in the struggle, Manuel accidentally impales himself on the spear, ending his life. Meanwhile, Maria, back on the mainland, performs a voodoo ritual, symbolically sealing Manuel's fate. A year later, a passing boat discovers Jennifer on the island. Although she is grief-stricken over Manuel's death, she chooses not to mention Jack when rescued. As she leaves with the family on the boat, she ignores Jack's desperate pleas for help, exacting her final revenge for his cruelty. The movie ends with Jack left alone on the island, his fate uncertain, as Jennifer sails away to safety. End the movie. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other recaps and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. and we'll see you in the next video.